Hey man, we back, man. Hey, I don't usually do videos like this, but I'm actually a WWE fan myself. I'm actually a wrestling fan. I'm actually a pro wrestler myself. A little something you actually know about your boy. John Cena turns heel. I'm gonna tell you all the reasons why he turned heel. Let's get it. If you didn't know about now, John Cena, competed at Elimination Chamber. He turned heel by attacking Cody Rhodes. It's crazy, I've been a John Cena fan for as long as I can count, John Cena turning heel is like honestly crazy. It's some never thought about stuff, if you really think about, if you really watch him and really know his character for real, know what he's about, know what he does, it's crazy. And this is 2025, his last year in the WWE, his farewell tour and all that. Man turned heel. So here's some of the reasons why I believe he turned heel. John Cena, he has a big celebrity status, at one point, I'm a wrestling nerd, I'm reading all type of stuff about WrestleMania is like, struggling to sell some tickets and whatnot. And him being put in this position could actually boost some ticket sales when it comes to Mania. Well, first of all, Mania, Triple H act like since it's WrestleMania, you gotta charge $500 for a ticket. It's crazy work, you feel me? You ain't gonna see me there. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't paying no $500. I ain't gonna unless Roman Reigns and like the main event title match, But so this is actually a game changer when it comes to character, and ticket sale prices. His celebrity status, he could boost sales. Well, at first he, since he actually won, I don't think I mentioned this, but since he actually won the Elimination Chamber, he won. He's gonna go on to fight Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. So since he actually won, his celebrity status is already as big. It could be bigger, and it could make his celebrity status a little more interesting, now that he's turned heel. Another reason is storyline. I'm pretty sure this one makes sense as well. Is they don't want to do a face versus face at Mania. So Cody Rhodes and John Cena, somebody's gonna have to turn heel. I honestly thought Cody was gonna turn heel before Cena did, but it's all good. I'm pretty sure. When it comes to the storyline, it makes more sense to do a heel and face. And Jay versus Gunther, it's already heel versus face, so they might as well do it. But yeah, when you think about a storyline perspective, heel face, and it makes the storylines more easier. Not easier, but yeah, actually it makes the storyline a lot more easier to go with, because it'll be harder for WrestleMania to really get that WrestleMania built. With the storyline, if they just both faces talk about, I have respect for you, but I'm gonna beat you at Mania. Don't nobody want to hear that for 9 weeks up until Mania. Don't nobody want to hear that. Don't nobody want to see respect about this. This is way more interesting than just a face versus face build up to Mania when it comes to their rivalry, when it comes to their storyline. Another reason is Triple H. He has, I don't want to call it an ego, but he has this thing where he likes to, where he's been trying to do never before seen stuff. He's been trying to do all types of crazy stuff, like bringing speed into the Royal Rumble, getting speared out his shoes, bringing Travis Scott smoking a blunt down with Jews. He's trying to do a lot of the never before seen stuff. That's I can call it. It's an ego thing. I'm gonna keep it away. I'm gonna call it an ego thing. Triple H. He likes to. He has this thing with putting on this never before seen stuff. This shocker stuff. Like he want to shock the WWE universe and all that. So yeah, Triple H he loves to shock the universe. He loves to do never before seen stuff. So, and John Cena turning heel is never before seen. Besides 2002, 2003, Dr. Thugonomics. But other than that, who would have thought he would turn heel after all this hustle, loyalty, respect stuff? It is what it is. Another reason is probably one of my biggest reasons is John Cena's farewell tour. He hasn't won a singles match in years, and he really wants to get that number 17, and he probably feels like the only way he could do it now with the the amount of talent it is in the WWE, with the amount of people who's, you know, maybe surpassed him and certain, and like in terms of like actually being in the ring, is like, it's to sell his soul, you know, turn his back on everybody. And he probably feels that, you know, since everybody already probably been turned their back on him, he might as well do it to them, you know. You know, he's getting what am I talking about? He's getting desperate. He really wants that number 17 world champion. So he feel like his only way of doing it is, you know, turning his back, you know, doing it the way he fought against damn near his whole career, you know. So yeah, so like, yeah, that's crazy, man. This is crazy. Another reason is like, why the hell not? You know, it's his farewell turn. He never really got to turn heel before. I was hearing like he was supposed to turn heel in 2012 against The Rock and stuff, but that never went through. Vince McMahon never let it happen. So, you know, it's his farewell tour. Why not? You know, he's played a great heel, or not a heel, but he's played like bad guys in movies, like in Fast and Furious and stuff. He played a very good bad guy in that movie. You know, yeah. So why not? You know, his farewell tour. You know, he's gonna do his thing. You know, he's gonna you know, it's John Cena, so he's gonna throw everything in. You know, he's gonna go all in his heel role, and I'm excited to see it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But let me know in the comments if y'all excited, if y'all disappointed, if y'all, you know, mad, sad, glad. Like, comment, subscribe though, you know. It is what it is, man. Like, comment, subscribe, man. We out. Let's get it.
Come on, guys, just stop this. This isn't worth it. This isn't worth it.
Hey, man, we back, man. Travis Scott really punched Cody Rhodes in the face at Elimination Chamber, WWE Elimination Chamber. I'm finna tell you the real reason why. So, a lot of people don't know this, but backstage, Cody Rhodes and Travis Scott actually got into an argument backstage, a heated argument. People had to separate them. So, and that was right before they went on. The Rock and John Cena had to separate them and all that. Well, not Rock and John Cena, but The Rock and like Triple H and them had to separate them because they was having an argument. They was about to throw blows, and that was just one time they really get. I'm just playing, y'all. Hey, I'll just play, y'all. You know, obviously Travis Scott don't know that, you know, that he can't throw real punches. You know, my thing is like, why didn't you tell him that? Like, why didn't you tell him, like, you know, if you're gonna hit him, like, make sure that it's not real, or like make sure it's like, you know, don't really hurt him, you know, don't throw like 100%, because he threw 100% in the clip I just showed you. I don't know why he did that. I don't even know why he was out there in the ring for real. He could have just like walked The Rock down to the ring and then like went backstage. I don't know why he was in the ring. He was just like just an extra body in the ring. I don't know why. You know, that kind of took away from John Cena's heel turn, but it's all good. It's all good. You know, heel turn was still perfectly executed and all that, but Travis Scott being there, just, it wasn't that, it just wasn't all that. I'm gonna keep it a buck. But yeah, so as you can see, Travis Scott really threw a real punch. Let me know in the comments though. I want y'all opinions in the comments on why you think he really threw the punch, if he really meant it or not. Let me know if you want to see some more Travis Scott in the ring. I doubt it. Let me know if y'all think Travis was in the right, wrong, if you think he didn't mean it for real. Yeah, just let me know all that. Let me know all y'all opinions in the comment section. I just want to touch this up because if I talked about John Cena heel turn, I gotta talk about the Travis Scott thing. But yeah, let me know something in the comment section. Please subscribe and let's get it. AEW's been around since 2019 and they've been through some ups and downs, some drama, some matches, some signing, some unsigning, some releases, some suing, and all types of stuff. But I'm here to talk about the stuff AEW needs to do to get back on track, you know? Before I start this video, before I say anything, I want you to do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe. Definitely subscribe. Give me the 10K by the end of 2025. It's a reach, hey, but I want to get to it, you feel me? So let's get into it. Packed roster. AEW's had a packed roster since 2019, and we keep in the book. They signed so many people, and it's really hard to you know, utilize all the people that they signed, because there's literally so many people. Like, it's so many people that signed to AEW that I forgot was signed to AEW, you know? Gotta honestly do some releasing. They gotta, because especially they haven't used Scorpio Sky since 2023. They made a whole hype package, whole hype video, you know, for him and everything. He's not been used. And there's a whole bunch of people that I can say that they've been doing just like that. I know there's so many other people that have been did just like that by AEW. So they got to get to releasing. They got to, you know, they got to shrink that roster down a little bit, because there's so many people that I forget. You know, I forget that was signed, and when they eventually come back on TV, I'll be like, oh, I forgot he was, you know, even on a roster. People just stop caring, you know. So they really gotta, you know, shrink that roster down. Storytelling. This one is a big one for me, because I'm not even gonna lie. Like, AEW has the best talent in the whole world in that locker room. Like at that brand, like, is the best talent in the world. The best in-ring performers in the world are in AEW right now. I'm not trying to crap on WWE or TNA or anybody. No, like, the best in-ring performers are in AEW, and I'd stand on that. I would stand on that to the day I die. But you know, as like great as the matches be over there at AEW, the storytelling really needs, like, you know, it really needs an upgrade, you know, when it comes to long-term storytelling, short-term storytelling, all of that. You know, I love to see Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay, but I need to see a story behind it. I just don't want that type of match for no reason, you know. And they did have a little story behind it, but I need a way better story. So I don't know. I heard some things like, the AEW talent, they don't do their storytelling, but they like definitely pitch like what they want to do, and they just go out for what, you know, the AEW talent wants to do when it goes to their storylines and all that, which is, I mean, I guess it's fine and everything. The story, like, I guess it's fine, but they really should not be picking and choosing what they are is gonna be doing every week. You know, they really need to, I don't know if they have storyline writers. If they do, they need to fire them and get some new ones. Or if they don't have story writers, they need to hire some ones. But their storytelling definitely needs an upgrade. But I'm not gonna crap on them, because they did a lot of storylines that was really good, like the Adam Cole and MJF, the Devil thing. It was very long, but it was good. You know, if it was short, it would have been good. The payoff, obviously, was kind of bad. Everybody knew it was Adam Cole. The whole faction, Adam Cole, literally the whole faction, Adam Cole was like running from the Devil storyline. They're not even together anymore. Like, that's what I mean. Like, if you're gonna do a storyline like that, make it make sense. All right, and stand on it, you know. Don't just do it for no reason and not even have the faction not even together anymore, you know. Tony Storm and Mariah May, that was a great storyline. Swerve and Hangman Adam Page is always a good storyline. They put great matches together and everything, but the storyline was off the chain, bro. It's great. So yeah, if they really upgrade their storylines, like, they will get some more people watching. Too many championships. They got world title, international, tag team, trios, women, TNT. They got Ring of Honor. Like, they got so many titles. They need to cut that out. I'm not even gonna lie. They gotta cut out all the titles. I believe it should really be AEW world title. Well, they have Dynamite and they have Collision. Dynamite world title should be on there. Collision, I guess they could put like a TNT title on there and make that the top title on that brand. Like, they really should just keep those brands completely like separate, like a SmackDown versus Raw, like how they was doing 2016. Literally, like, keep those brands completely separate. Have a Worlds Collide. They have Worlds Collide do that, and they do Collision versus Dynamite. I know that's kind of biting off of Survivor Series, how they did in like 2016 and all that, SmackDown vs. Raw. But that's something I would love to see, like, especially with the talent that they have, the amount of storylines they could do. They did that, so yeah, they could have the Collision title and the international title. No, Collision title, TNT title, and international title on Collision, and then world title, and then I guess they got another title I can't really name. They got so many titles I can't really name for real. But yeah, just shrink down on the title. No reason why I should see the Ring of Honor World Champion on AEW every week. There's really no. When Jericho was the Ring of Honor World Champion, I think I don't know. Well, when he was the Ring of Honor World Champion, he was literally on Dynamite every week. Why are you not on Ring of Honor? He was on AEW more than Ring of Honor, and he was literally the world champ. Like, it's crazy. Necessary signings. There are so many people that they signed for no reason. Mercedes Moné, she had a partner. I forget her name. She literally was signed for no reason. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I think she had like a match or two, bro. It was like a complete waste of time. This is not even just her. So many signings that they had that that like there was no need. There was no need. There was no need for them to sign. Like, and that goes back to the packed roster thing that I was telling y'all about earlier. It's way too many. Way too many people back there, and it's not helping that you're signing people so unnecessary. You're gonna sign somebody and push them a little bit, give them some TV time for the first couple months to a year, and then they're gonna fade backstage. Literally, I've seen it happen time and time again with AEW. They need to do some releasing. And I hate to say it because I don't like to see people lose their jobs, but at the end of the day, it's like that's what they need to do. They can't really, they gotta stop signing people for no reason. Like, if you're gonna sign somebody, you gotta make sure you have something for them. And this is not with AEW. WWE too. Like, they especially with NXT, they will bring some people up from NXT for no reason. Kiana James, y'all forgot about her, did you? Yeah, she's a part of the Raw roster. We ain't see her in months. Von Wagner, they literally brought him up just to release him. Dijak really pissed me off because he was one of my favorite workers in NXT. He literally could do his thing. They released him. Like, honestly, they brought up Dijak just to put him on WWE Speed for a couple of episodes and then release him. Like, Triple H definitely struggles at that as well. It's just not at AEW, but at the end of the day, it's something that AEW got to work on. But that's a little bit for me. There's a couple of stuff that I picked out that AEW need to really work on to get their show back in place, get it back and running, get it popular again, get it popping and all that. What y'all think? Let me know in the comments what y'all think. If y'all agree with me, y'all disagree with me, or if you have an idea of what they could do to get better. I love AEW, don't get me wrong. I watch every week. So I'm not crapping on anybody or anything, but you just gotta get right. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna see you later. We out. Let's get it. Triple H is struggling with WrestleMania 41, and I'm about to tell you why. Ever since Triple H took over creative, took over for Vince McMahon, after he exited, he's been cooking. He cooked with 2022 SummerSlam, his first PLE. He brought back a lot of names. He booked the amazing Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns match, the final one, which is good. But he has been struggling lately when it comes to his decision making and the booking of storylines and the overall match quality and the overall matches that he's booking. When it comes to the main event of night one, the triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, when it comes to the build up of Cody Rhodes, John Cena, when it comes to the build of Jey Uso and Gunther, and when it comes to the triple threat match of Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair, and many, many, many more. So let's get into it. Before we continue, hey, make sure to subscribe and watch more of my videos after this one. Trying to get to 10K by the end of the year. Let's get it. Number one, the match built between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. Now, don't get me wrong, it is a WrestleMania main event. Don't get me wrong, it is definitely 100% a WrestleMania main event, but the way they're building it is not really making it seem like it should be in the main event of WrestleMania, especially since none of them are really showing up to the shows at all to really build it for real. Really, the whole match build has really been like either Punk or Rollins, going out onto a show and saying the other people ain't here. That's really like how the build has been. Like, these three individuals have over a decade worth of history in between each other. Go to that, Go to the history they have with each other. Talk about the Shield. Talk about how he brought you in the company. Talk about if it wasn't for Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins, he wouldn't have that historic title run. Like, talk about things like that. Don't just go on the Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown and tell the whole crowd that the other people ain't here. Like, it's not even a WrestleMania build. It's just saying that they ain't here. And then freaking fight when they do it, just fighting to destroy each other. Like, no, like, really get in depth with those promos. This should be like one of the deepest WrestleMania builds, like on the match card in WrestleMania 41. So get into that. Number 2, I'm gonna go with the slower start between Jey Uso and Gunther. Now, they have recently, I'm gonna cut them some slack, because they have recently started picking up involving Jimmy and Jay with that amazing promo he cut on Gunther, saying that he ain't afraid of him anymore. But at the beginning, the build to the match was very much slow, when it was just going out, just beating each other every week, which, I mean, it's fine, but I mean, like, I get that you're trying to destroy each other, but like, like, some promo work could have, they could have used some more promo work. They could have inflicted more promos and went into deep. If you haven't seen the video that I explained about this already, go check it out, because I already made a whole video about the whole WrestleMania build in between them. But yeah, I explained how Gunther should say how he hates Jey Uso, how he hates Jey Uso. How he can't stand that every time he gets a title shot, he loses, and the fans, still go crazy for him, stuff like that. So the promo work at first could have used some more work. They could have, went deeper and could have did more with the promos instead of just fighting each other every week. I'm not saying fighting each other every week is necessarily bad, but I mean, like, they didn't have to only do that. They could have they could have mixed it up a little bit. But lately it's been picking up, with involving Jimmy. If you haven't been watching, they involved Jimmy. Jey Uso destroyed Jimmy right in front of Jay. He zip tied Jay into to the ropes of the ring. So they've been picking it up lately, but that's just a few minor things that I had to point out. Charlotte and Tiffany. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people gonna agree with me with this one, but it's the build-up is bad. Charlotte, she's going into business for herself. I honestly don't know why she's even in the match to begin with. She's been gone for a while. Literally the same thing as WrestleMania 39. She was gone for a while. She came back. Her first night back, they gave her the title to beat Ronda Rousey. Same thing this year. They gave her the Royal Rumble spot, had her win the Royal Rumble. And I'm hearing that they might give her the championship, but I don't know at this point. But if they do, it'll be terrible for business. I ain't gonna lie. Triple H, he loves that best for business stuff. This will not be best for business. Nobody will like this. But yeah, the build is bad. Charlotte going to business with herself. The promo's been bad, especially the promo when they, everybody knows this, but they had went off script. And when it was in Chicago, couldn't make it to that show. My bad, but yeah, they went off script. Charlotte tried to go to business for herself, mainly because she couldn't speak because of the Chicago crowd. But she's a vet. She's been doing this since 2014, 2013, something like that. She should be able to work around that. She should know how to work around that, work with a crowd that's booing her out of the city, booing her out of the building, as Dominic Mysterio, So, going into business with herself, I don't like that. Tiffany going off script, don't like that at all. mainly because I want to know what they're supposed to say in these promos, how they're gonna build it, how they're gonna feel about each other. I'm trying to really understand what they're trying to say to each other. So I don't like the off the script stuff. I mean, it's cool sometimes, when you want to sneak some stuff in, but just a whole promo off script, like, come on now. I also made a separate video about this, but it kind of got blocked. I think YouTube took it down because I included some. Alright, I'm gonna give y'all some advice before I get into this. If you're gonna do YouTube and do a video about WWE, try not to include like a lot of videos, like of WWE, like of a match in your video, because WWE don't play about that. They're gonna take that down, which I don't understand, but WWE, they like to act weird sometimes. But Cena and Cody Rhodes build, I made a whole separate video, but if you didn't get a chance to watch the video, pretty much I just said, I said a lot of things actually. Cody Rhodes and John Cena, I don't know why they did a lot of their promos on Raw. I don't know why they were doing that on Raw. Like, Cody's the SmackDown champ, so that's the first thing. He's the SmackDown champ. He should do your stuff on SmackDown. Like he's supposed to the SmackDown before Mania. They're supposed to be on that show. I think that'd be like their first SmackDown when it comes first SmackDown together when it comes to their build. So first promo together or whatever. So yeah, so that's one of the things. But another thing is the promo work, it's pretty fine. It's pretty fire. Some things that could use some work, but then again, I ain't a pro. John Cena's a pro. I'm pretty sure he gonna fix it. That SmackDown before Raw, or not Raw, SmackDown before Mania. Can't talk today, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a couple things with the Cena build. It ain't really too deep. It's pretty okay, but some minor things that don't really make sense to me. I had to point it out, especially them not being on SmackDown, relying on LA Knight to be the top champion on SmackDown is kind of weird. He's US champ. It's fine that they want to use his star power, but then again, like, he's not the world champ like you are, Cody. Show up on your show, But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. If you agree with me, leave a like or whatever. Leave a comment. If you don't agree with me, still leave a like, but comment why you don't agree with me. Make sure y'all subscribe. Don't go nowhere. Watch the videos on this screen right here. Pretty sure it's popping up, but either way, let's get it. WWE has been booming ever since Triple H took over WWE Creative. WWE's been more popular, it's became cool again, and it's became bigger for the outside audience of the WWE. But just like any other man, Triple H is not perfect, and he has made a tremendous amount of mistakes when it comes to creative and booking, and that is what the video is about today. We're gonna get to that. Things that Triple H has done wrong when he took over creative. Before we go any further, I want you to do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, turn the post notifications on. Do me a favor, watch to the end of the video, and then at the end, it's gonna have a video pop up. Click on that. Don't go nowhere. Let's get it. Now, Triple H storylines at times when he's booking them has been tremendous. Sometimes perfect, sometimes exceptional, sometimes bad. But that's what we're gonna talk about: the bad storyline. Now, we're gonna talk about specifically the storyline between Chad Gable and Gunther. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Sami Zayn. I was cool with him, defeating Gunther to, finally get that IC title off of him. But I'm not even gonna lie, I don't think it should have been Sami Zayn. I feel like it should have been Chad Gable. I say that because Chad Gable would have been a little different. Plus, he was over with the crowd, and he's amazing in the ring. And nobody can disagree with me on that. He was super over. He was great in the ring. It was a great storyline for him to finish off. He should have been the one, finishing Gunther off at Mania. Like, I'm not wrong at all. So when it comes to like storylines like that, Triple H has definitely dropped the ball with that storyline, because now Chad Gable, they put him with the Creed brothers, Julius Creed and them. And Ivy Nile, and don't get me wrong, I like the Creed brothers, but I'm not gonna lie, like they're doing nothing when it comes to being with Chad Gable. Chad Gable, as of right now, his storyline is a masked lucha wrestler who is pretending not to be Chad Gable. Everybody knows it is. So like he kind of gone downhill. Now I'm not even gonna lie, what they could have done, Chad Gable could have defeated Gunther at WrestleMania 40, And then after that, he could have, held his title to SummerSlam and had Sammy defeat him, and then turn heel after that. That's how it could have worked. He could have turned on Otis and all that, and stuff like that. This one actually pisses me off a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. NXT call-ups. If we keep it a buck, bro, like NXT call-ups, have been horrible when it comes to Triple H. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, called up Dijak. Dijak is one of the best workers in NXT at the time when he was in there, and they called him up just to release him, just to put him on WWE speed for a couple matches and then release him. Like that. Kiana James, she's still on the roster, but she hasn't been seen in months. I'm talking about that kind of, so like that's pretty much what he's been struggling with lately is like the NXT call-ups. Carmelo Hayes, new talent, he's been struggling with that. So Carmelo Hayes, he's amazing in the ring, one of the best in-ring performers on SmackDown. Not wrong about that at all. One of the best in-ring performers, and he's doing nothing. They're pairing him with Miz. They're doing backstage segments with him and the Miz, like barely getting TV time. And when he do his backstage segments with the corny backstage segments too, like, so I don't know. He got to get better at the newer talent that comes in from NXT or from outside of WWE recently signed. Now he's been doing a decent job with Rey Fenix and Penta. Ever since they signed to WWE, they've been getting they're good. They've been getting time in. They've been getting not time in, but TV time in, and showing what they can do in the ring. So something he does good at, but a lot of times when it comes to NXT call-ups, he's horrible. So that's something he got to fix, because there's a lot of talent that he drops the ball with when it comes to NXT. Long-term storylines. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Triple H gotta realize that not every storyline, not every long-term storyline will be like the Bloodline storyline. The Bloodline storyline was probably the best long-term storyline, probably the best storyline of all time when it comes to WWE. No doubt about it. But not every storyline can be long-term, and it could be like that. Otis and Chad Gable, for example, like they try to do that storyline kind of long-term, and it didn't really work out that well. They still yet to have really they had a one-on-one match, but they really yet to make their matches about about Chad Gable turning on Otis and doing them dirty. I don't know. And they kind of dropped the ball on Otis a little bit, because he was actually over with that storyline. If they kept it short term, Otis probably would have been way more over, and the storyline would have worked out better. So overall, long-term storylines, when it comes to that, he's gotta, realize not every long-term storyline or every storyline could be like the Bloodline storyline. Like, there's a lot of storylines that you have to keep short, because if you keep dragging it out, it's gonna get dry. The audience is gonna stop caring. Kind of like the Jade Cargill and Naomi situation. They storyline for instance, they kind of was trying to drag it in long term to a point where the audience kind of stopped caring. The only time that the audience started caring again was when Jade Cargill returned. So I don't know, they try to keep that long term. It didn't really work out the way they wanted to, but they kind of got lucky with the audience started caring when Jade Cargill returned. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. There will be a part 2. I'm trying to cut these type of videos in a little bit. I don't want to sit here for 20 minutes talking about it, but there will be a part 2, part 3, or whatever. How many parts I want to make? There's a lot of things Triple H has been doing wrong, and I'm gonna address it. I'm not gonna lie. So let me know in the comments if you agree with me, if you would disagree, or if you have your own comment of what Triple H could do to get better. Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, watch the video on the screen right now. Don't go nowhere. Other than that, let's get it. Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks, has been in some deep trouble lately. Not trouble, but she's been called out for some obvious reasons. Let's get into it. Now, before we continue with this video, do me a favor to like, comment, subscribe, and watch through all my videos. Give me the 10K subs by the end of the year. Now let's get it. Let's get lit. Now, before we
actually get into it, let me tell you a little bit about Mercedes Moné, aka formerly known as WWE Sasha Banks. You know, actually, I don't really need to get into too much, because if you didn't know who Sasha Banks was or Mercedes Moné was, you wouldn't have clicked on this video. But a little brief rundown: she was a part of the WWE, came up from NXT like 2015. You know, she won a lot of world titles. She won the tag team champions on multiple occasions. She had a lot of tag team partners. She was famously known as walking out with Naomi in 2022 out of WWE. Walking out of WWE with Naomi. Yeah, so yeah, she walked out, then went to New Japan Pro and went to do some other companies, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And she was AEW. She's currently in AEW right now. I like her run, but you know, they could do a little better with it, you know. But I'm not here to talk about her AEW run. I'm here to talk about how she's been scamming her fans. So let's get into it. So as you can see on the screen, it says text me Mercedes Moné. She has a little text now, text me type thing, and it's only just for a little amount of money of $99 a month. You know, $99 a month to talk to somebody that, you know, it's pretty obvious what it is. It's pretty obvious what it is. So it's pretty much, you know, if you have Snapchat, they have the My AI thing. It's pretty much like that. You know, you're not really talking to Mercedes Moné. She's not really texting you. I'm honestly very confused on why she even like agreed to do this, why she even agreed on this. But yeah, it's pretty much, you know, just a text now service, you know, $99 a month for people who's not even really talking, because it's automatic, you know, pretty much an automatic responses from like an AI type source of thing. And you know, the only thing that really changes about it is like the name. So they'll just change up the names to your name to make it seem like that she's actually talking to you, which she's not really talking to you at all. So yeah, it's actually a scam. $99 a month to talk to an AI robot. You know, I honestly don't know why she agreed to this. I don't know if it was her idea. I don't know if you know, somebody came to her and just like, hey, this would be a great idea to sign off on this, and you know, just made $99 a month from the amount of people that signed up. So, and I looked at the comments of everybody's reactions, and everybody's pretty much, you know, after they found out what it really was, everybody was kind of disappointed, mad, angry, and kind of embarrassed for her. And honestly, I'm kind of embarrassed for her too, because like, why would you even agree to this? And if you like didn't know, like, and if you just like say yes off the bat and didn't even know what it was, like, you tweaking. Like, at least know what it is first. Like, you're making a mockery out of yourself. You acting like one of these YouTube scammers. Like, you're supposed to be a professional wrestler, not acting like freaking who scams their fans, like Rice Gum or somebody like that, or Pretty Boy Fredo. Like, so, you know, it's pretty much embarrassing on her end, and you know, it doesn't make anything better for AEW. AEW already gets as much crap as it is with the amount of, you know, people doing, well, just being AEW in general, and a lot of people doing side quests like OnlyFans and all types of YouTubes and all of that. So pretty much everybody's doing like they side quests there. They already get bashed enough for that. This don't make it any better, because $99 a month to talk to an AI robot is crazy. So she got caught lying. She got caught, you know, or not caught. I don't know if she really understands. I have a big feeling that she doesn't know, like, what's really going on for her. I don't know why. If she does, I don't know why she would agree to this, but I don't know. She has to have somewhat of an idea of what's going on, but at the end of the day, I don't know why she would agree to this. But yeah, it's a little quick upload on, you know, her scamming her fans. It's a scam. I mean, for all the Mercedes Moné fans, Sasha Banks fans, you know, telling me that, like, no, it's not a scam. No, it's a scam. You're talking to you're paying $99. They're promoting the texting, you know, that you're texting Mercedes Moné, when in reality you're talking to an AI robot. She's not gonna sit there and all day and reply to thousands and thousands of messages of people asking basic stuff that people ask on a daily anyway. Like, it's not her, fam. Like, it's not her. So yeah, little short video. Don't go nowhere though. There's a video popping up on the screen. I want you to do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, give me the 10K by the end of the year. More videos like this coming out. Check out my other videos. Hey, we out. Let's get it. Ways TKO has ruined WWE. Before we get into this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Give me the 10K by the end of the year. Keep watching throughout the whole video. Let's go. The Rock
Now, don't get me wrong, I love The Rock. He's one of the greatest of all time. All that, all of that stuff you already know. But when it comes to him being a part of the TKO and all that crap, is really like, for the true WWE fans, is really like ruining a lot of stuff. Like, he inserted himself into the John Cena heel turn, which is supposed to be one of the greatest heel turns of all time. He inserted himself into it and just left it at that, left it alone. There was no aftermath of it. He was barely brought up, so he's being used for ratings and they're trying to insert him into things, but then not like lead up with it, just trying to insert him into stuff. It's bad. And then he gets on interviews and breaks kayfabe like a mug, man. He breaks kayfabe all the time, and it's really stressful because, like, I get it. I get what WWE do is scripting and all that, but that don't really mean you can go on interviews and break all types of kayfabe, talking about heel phase and this was scripted, this wasn't scripted, this was planned, this wasn't planned. Like, no. So The Rock, he kind of ruins. He ruins it a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. It's almost like Triple H don't even run shit anymore. Like, it's like when Elimination Chamber happened, like, they wasn't selling enough tickets or something like that. So TKO, one of the members from TKO, called The Rock straight up and said, hey, can you appear at Elimination Chamber, help boost ticket sales and boost viewership and all that? And Rock was like, alright. They didn't run it about Triple H, didn't do none of that. TKO themselves did that. Triple H books the show. Like, what are we doing here? Like, it's just stressful to have, situations like that happen, especially if you're not going to follow up on anything after, especially if it's an important segment. If you want The Rock in an important segment at Elimination Chamber with John Cena turning heel and everything, like, if you going to want The Rock to appear, you better make sure it means something, because if it don't, you're going to get a lot of backlash like you are getting now. Yes, budget cuts. Budget cuts is a real problem, because it's funny how, like, they're so worried about budget cuts. They're willing to cut some very great talent, some very great, amazing in-ring performers, and very beloved veterans like R-Truth. I know he just, came back to the WWE, but when they did, they originally, cut them because of budget cuts. It's funny how you, like, so worried about budget cuts when it comes to these superstars and want to negotiate Roman Reigns' contract, but every time you get the chance, you brag about how much money you making. If you making all this money, if you're bragging about it, and you got so much money, you increasing all this in stocks, you making billions, then why are you so worried about budget cuts? Why are you willing to cut beloved veterans and over superstars like R-Truth and, amazing talent like Dakota Kai? Why are you willing to cut? Why are you, like, trying to cut them if you're making all this money? If you're so-called making all this money, so it's just that's just a frustrating thing to hear about when it comes to budget cuts. Like, I know I'm not saying, like, don't worry about budget cuts at all. If you want to get some budget cuts, then yeah, work on some budget cuts. If, like, there's a superstar on your roster that you're paying a whole lot, but that isn't doing anything, then okay, go ahead. But they're, like, cutting superstars that would be on TV frequently. Like, before they cut R-Truth, he was on TV every week. Like, literally had a whole match with John Cena. Before they cut Dakota Kai, she was on TV weekly. I know she's a little injury prone, but before they cut her, she was, like, on weekly TV. So, like, it's crazy how you give these superstars so much TV time and all that, but then the next week you're ready to cut them as soon as possible. But yeah, budget cuts are really a problem with TKO. They're so worried about it, especially when they claim to be making all this money. This is one of my biggest things, and it's one of the biggest things that pisses me off about WWE, but advertising. Like, there should be no reason why the Money in the Bank briefcase has a Cash App advertisement on there. There should be no reason why the whole entire WWE ring should be covered in, all types of advertising, talking about Clash of Clans and Prime bottles and all that. There should be no reason why the ring should be covered like that. There should be no reason why there's all these commercial breaks during Saturday night's main event. Like, it just takes away from the fun. Like, man, advertising has got so crazy in WWE. Like, And like I don't want to be that guy say I miss Vince McMahon, because you know Vince McMahon before he had left officially, like he was definitely losing touch. He was definitely out of touch with what the crowd wanted. That's the thing about Triple H. Triple H is a little more in touch. I'm not gonna say he's all the way in touch, because LA Knight is not a Money in the Bank winner right now, so he's definitely not all the way in touch right now. But he's a little more in touch than Vince McMahon, you know. But the thing about Vince McMahon is that he never sold his soul while he was in the WWE. He never, you know, sold out to all these advertisements and all the people that want to help buy WWE and stocks and all that. And he didn't fill up the ring with a whole bunch of prom logos and trying to get people to buy. He didn't, you know, place Cash App advertisements on Money in the Bank briefcase. He didn't do advertisements on ladders for the Money in the Bank. Like, no. Vince McMahon was, you know, he stood on business when it came to that. He wanted to keep WWE original, especially for the original fans that watch every week. Triple H is more worried about branching out to the people that don't really tune into WWE. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but don't lose focus on, you know, the people that watch every week, the people that, you know, dedicate a lot of time and energy into the company, you know. To the fans and people that spend money and buy merch and buy tickets and all that. And that's another thing. Ticket prices are crazy right now. I seen like 10,000 for one seat at one of the events. It's just crazy. So yeah, advertisement is a crazy thing. It's a bad thing. You know, shouldn't, you know, have 5 commercials during one match. Shouldn't see all these advertisements on all these WWE products. It's crazy. Poor storylines. So let me explain this one. This might sound a little different, might sound a little confusing to you, but because, you know, you probably thinking, how is TKO affecting these storylines? I'm gonna give you one big example. John Cena. When he turned heel, there was a chance for him to branch out and do something different, and be different, but instead they are basically doing the same thing with him. Yeah, he's heel. Yeah, he's doing bad things like hitting people on the head with the championships during the matches to win and everything, but he's still got the same like theme song, same merchandise, all of that. The merchandise especially, that was a chance for him to branch out, get some new merch and everything, but instead they actually went worse with the merch. They got new merch and hats and everything for him. Every single week, every time he appears, it's like different. It's different types of merch and everything. Every time he appears and comes onto a show, ready to sell to that, you know, crowd, to that audience. That was a chance for him to get some new gear, like maybe like wear all black or something like that, and not have the never give up in the last chance is now. Last time is now shirts and all that, and the hats, and they even got on and I've touched on this before, but he even got socks that, you know, that he's never worn before. Like the socks that you see in the ring that say last chance is now and everything, like he's never wore those before in his career, especially when he's full-time. So yeah, it's crazy how like they overdid it with the merch. It was a chance for him to break out, get a new theme song, but instead like they was kind of thinking money with that, especially with the merchandise when it came to him. So that's kind of affecting the storylines too, because like it's like, yeah, John Cena's saying he's different and everybody, and Cody Rhodes trying to go about it like John Cena's been acting different, but I see the same dude. Like I see the same John Cena that I've been seeing my whole life when he comes out to the show. Yeah, he does heel shit now, like hit people on the heads and everything, but other than that, it really don't, there's no difference. But yeah, that's gonna be my video for today. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to upload once a week. You know, I used to upload like every day or every other day, but I was doing like gaming videos, posting Call of Duty videos and all that. I'm not really in my gaming stuff anymore. If you want me to get back on that, then I'll do it. I'll probably create a whole separate channel for that though. But yeah, I'm working on these. I'm on my commentaries, YouTube commentary stuff nowadays, but I'm posting once a week because, you know, I'm trying to focus more on my editing and everything. I'm trying to give you quality over quantity. That was my problem in the past. I was trying to give you quantity over quality. So but yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Don't go nowhere. Watch more of my videos, man. Or we gonna throw some hands. So those of you who have been living under a rock lately, R-Truth, who is a WWE veteran, who's been in WWE for years, man, years. All right, a couple weeks back got released by the WWE just to get brought back a week or two later at Money in the Bank. And I'm about to tell you exactly why the R-Truth release made WWE look stupid, look foolish. R-Truth, aka Ron Killings, has been to WWE for years. All right, he's mostly known for his comedic acts and all that. But before he started being funny and all that, he was actually taken very serious, especially in like 2011 when he turned heel on John Morrison, smoked a cigarette on his body, and aligned with the Miz, got arrested at a pay-per-view, got attacked by Triple H. So he was taken pretty seriously, but then they turned him. So he had potential to be a very good heel, but they turned him into a comedic act mainly because of his personality in the real life. His real life personality is really funny, so Vince McMahon was like, hey, you know what? I like your personality in real life. Bring your real life personality onto the TV screen. So they made him a comedic act on WWE. But it was all taken for granted, especially when Triple H took over. He started losing. He was losing a lot before then, but he wasn't taken that serious. He wasn't taken serious at all when Triple H took over, man. Triple H put him in a Judgment Day. He got attacked by the Miz. So he was in all these good storyline angles where they could have did more with it, but just decided not to because is R-Truth. Like the Judgment Day storyline, it was a perfect opportunity for him to really get a real good storyline after he got attacked and kicked out and everything, but they just never followed up. Same thing with the Miz. Man. That actually really pisses me off to this day. After the Miz turned on them and they lost the tag team titles, John Cena turned heel. Well, R-Truth was lingering in the background, doing backstage segments, having matches here and there, losing on a weekly basis. John Cena turned heel, and it was a perfect opportunity for John Cena and R-Truth to have their storyline. Because R-Truth for a very long time saying, John Cena's childhood hero and all that, he want to be like John Cena when he grew up, even though R-Truth 50 years old. It's crazy. He older than John Cena. It's nuts. But it was a perfect opportunity to do a storyline between them, so they did. They executed it good. R-Truth he interfered in the match at Backlash with Randy Orton and John Cena, which built up a match between John Cena and R-Truth, at Saturday Night's Main Event. So they did that. They executed that. The match was relatively, it was short, but at the same time, it kind of needed to be because John Cena and R-Truth to this day, John Cena and R-Truth today are not gonna put a 5-star classic on. The most you getting out of them is maybe a 3-star. You know what I'm saying? But those two are not, put on a 5-star classic. I'm not even gonna lie. R-Truth, as of right now, being 50-something years old, is a better in-ring performer than John Cena. It's because he's doing this, way more than John Cena has been doing. John Cena's been on this part-time stuff, which I get. He has a movie career outside of WWE. He has other stuff to do. He don't have time to train every week like R-Truth has time to do. He don't got time to perform every week like R-Truth has. So it kind of, makes me mad about how people say, John Cena, is a, bad in-ring performer and everything, but dude is almost 50. He hasn't been training like that. But I'm not even gonna lie, to give y'all some credit, John Cena knew this year was gonna be that year to have a retirement tour. So he definitely should have, like some months or maybe a year prior. My bad. I'm going all crazy today, but a year or maybe some months prior, he could have, had had like some serious in-ring training, not even just lifting, because John Cena, his definition of training for in-ring competition is lifting weights and everything, which is okay. Yeah, work out, do your thing, but that you got to do more than just lift weights and work out and everything. Everybody knows that you got to be in-ring performing. You got to do in-ring training, man. You got to, not get yourself or anybody hurt in that ring by, practicing and performing in the ring. So they're not gonna put a 5-star classic on. So their match at Saturday Night's Main Event was short, fun, exactly what it needed to be. Now after that, they had a perfect opportunity to do something more with that storyline, with that rivalry, but WWE decided to release R-Truth, which was kind of weird, because why are you putting them on TV every single week, having a big old feud with John Cena just to release him? It don't make sense. You can't do that and then act surprised when you get backlash from the WWE universe online everywhere. You know, you can't get mad when you get that type of backlash. You putting him on TV every week. You getting him super over with the crowd, and he got super over with the crowd just to release him. That's a slap in the face of R-Truth, especially for, you know, as many years as he's been, you know, in the WWE, and as many years as he's been a comedic act on TV. Nobody, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a wrestler myself, and I'm, you know, not trying to be in a organization or in a league that I'm trying to wrestle in and be a comedic act for over a decade. No, I want to be taken serious as an in-ring performer, as a competitor. I don't want to be a comedic act. I can have comedic segments and all that, but I don't want to be a comedic act and, you know, for 10 plus years and try to make people laugh and not get no type of title opportunities, no type of serious storylines, none of that. So, you know, yeah, so for, you know, it was just a slap in the face to him. But that's not what made WWE stupid. I'm about to tell you exactly what made WWE stupid. What made WWE look stupid, what made Triple H look stupid, is that they went on straight up. They had the audacity to go straight up on a press conference and lie to every single person's face, everybody's face. Triple H straight up said that everything was all a work. That was actually crazy and disrespectful, and it was honestly it was cowardly too, man. And it's crazy how R-Truth and his son had to tweet out that none of it was a work. You just made yourself look stupid. You made R-Truth look stupid. You made everything look stupid, man, just by a simple lie like that. Just be straight up. You literally could have said, "Hey, we released them. The WWE universe wanted them back, so we brought them back." Simple as that. Now R-Truth is finna go out there, perform, do his thing. That's all you had to say. Literally, why? I'm like, to this day, I'm still trying to figure out why he would lie like that. Like, my answer that I just said would have made him look 10 times better. I honestly would have respected him a lot more if, you know, if he would have, you know, said my answer. If he would have just been straight up. There was literally no point of lying. But I have been reading some things that said Triple H originally didn't even want him back. It was Nick Khan's decision in the first place. But even if it was Nick Khan's decision in the first place, you did not have to lie, honestly. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about this whole situation. Let me know if Triple H was in the wrong, Triple H was in the right, if you are a fan of R-Truth or not. Let me know all in the comments. I'm down to have a discussion. I'm down to argue with y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, or I'm throwing these hands at y'all. Let's get it.